don't talk about you anymore. Not because it doesn't hurt, but some memories grow fragile when you say them out loud first. Your name still rests behind my lips, like you're scared of being heard. I keep it safe in silence now, where it can't be disturbed. I learned some love survives by staying small inside. You're a memory too quiet to cry for, to explain. Not loud enough to break me, but heavy all the same. You don't haunt me in my dreams, you just sit beside my breath. You're a memory too quiet to forget. I see you in the little things, a street light, a familiar tone, moments that don't hurt enough to feel like I'm alone. You don't come back in photographs or songs that make me fall. You live between the seconds when I'm not thinking at all. I don't reach for where we were, but I still feel where you were. You're never too quiet to scream that heart apart. You don't tear my world in half, you slowly pull it dark. I don't break, I don't confess, I just carry what you left. You're a memory too quiet to forget. Maybe love doesn't disappear, maybe it just lets it hide. It's softer forms are missing, I don't need to cry. I don't want you back again, I don't ask for closure too. I just wish remembering you didn't feel it's true. You're a memory too quiet to chase, to let go. Not a wound that's bleeding, just one that won't close. I live my life, I move ahead, but some part of me still rests with a memory too quiet in my chest. If I ever speak your name, it won't be loud or wet with tears. It'll sound like a whisper from a memory too quiet. The lights stay on, but they don't help. The room feels wider than before. I lie awake and count the hours that don't look like hours anymore. My thoughts keep drifting out of line, nothing fits the way it should. The night just stretches endlessly, like I never understood. I close my eyes but nothing forms, just silence breathing in the dark. These nights have no shape, no start, no end. they fall apart, then start again. I don't cry, I don't break, I just stay awake in nights without shape. Your name doesn't hurt like it once did. It just feels unfinished now, like a sentence left half spoken, that I still don't know how. The car keeps moving, I don't. Time feels thin and swaying. Every thought dissolves too fast, like I'm scared to stay. I wait for sleep to take me in, but sleep doesn't know where I've been. These nights have no shape, no dreams, no sound, just me in a dark, spinning around. I breathe in slow, breathe in light, trying to escape these nights without shade. Maybe here doesn't look like peace. Maybe it looks like me. Stay here, still breathing, learning how to exist. Gotta meet tomorrow, yeah. I just need this to pass. I just need the dark to move a little faster than the past. These nights have no shape, no words to say. They blur together and drift away. I don't fall, I don't aim, I just wait in nights without shape. If morning comes, I'll try again to feel like something's changed. But right now, I'm still learning how to live inside nights without shade. You used to reach from a hand without thinking twice. Now your fingers hesitate, like they're learning goodbye. The room still looks the same, but something's missing in the air. Love didn't leave all at once, it just stopped being there. I felt the distance growing slow before I let myself know. There was a moment I noticed the warmth wasn't the same. Your voice still said my name, but it didn't stay. You were here but far away, like love forgot the way. I didn't lose you suddenly, you faded gently. We still talk like everything's fine, Still laughed at the right parts, but something fragile broke inside. Before it broke our hearts, I held on to routines, like they could make you stay. But affection learned to whisper, then quietly drift away. You didn't stop loving me, you just stopped leaning in. There was a moment I noticed the warmth had slipped from view. Its touch still found my shoulder, but it didn't feel like you. No fight, no closing door, just less than there was before. I didn't watch love end in flame, it cooled away. Maybe love doesn't leave in storms, maybe it leaves in stillness, in the space between two of us. When comfort turns to distance, I don't hate you for the change, I just wish you'd felt it too. So wouldn't be alone in losing you. It was a moment I noticed, and I tried not to cry, because once you see it fading, you can't pass it by. I stay quiet, you stay kind, we both pretending we were fine, until once became a memory between you and I still remember how it felt before the night grew cold, before love stopped reaching dark, when warmth faded. I still remember how it felt before the night grew cold, before love stopped reaching dark, when warmth faded. I don't think of you all the time, just in certain quiet ways. When the room gets still at night, or the light begins to fade, you don't live in every thought, you don't haunt my days apart. You just rest when no one sees, in the corners of my heart. I learned how to keep moving on without pretending you were gone. You stay in the corners of my heart, not the center, not the star, just the places I don't touch. I'm missing hurts too much. I don't cry, I don't fall apart, I just feel you when it's dark. You're not mine now, you're not my past, you're the corners of my heart. I smile easily these days, laugh like nothing ever changed. The some love doesn't disappear, it just softens with the pain. I don't reach for what we were, I don't ask for where you are, I just feel you sometimes. still in the quiet afterthoughts. I don't need you close again. I just miss who I was then. You stay in the corners of my heart, where memories gently start. Not loud enough to pull me back, but strong enough to last. I've learned to live, I've learned to part, but healing is an empty guard, and I don't wanna breaks me apart. You're the corners of my heart. Baby, love doesn't always end. Baby, it just moves aside to make room for living. I'll stand softly alive. I don't want you back somehow. I just don't erase you out, because some love deserves a place even when it's quiet. You stay in the corners of my heart, where I keep good fragile parts. Laugh for pain, laugh for regret, just for what I won't forget. I walk forward, I restart, but I carry who we are in the soft and hidden parts, the corners of my heart. If you ever feel my name in a memory that's kind, that's where I keep you now, safe and smooth in the corners of my heart. We talk for hours in the dark about the things we never do. We danced around the truth so long and learned how to stay untrue. Your hand was close enough to mine to feel the warmth, not the skin. Some love lives right at the edge and never lets you in. I felt your breath, I felt the space between desire and restraint. There's something heavy in what we didn't touch. Not the moments we shared, but the ones we held back from us. We were careful, we were kind, we were afraid of crossing lines, and now the heart is part of you. Is what we didn't touch. We laughed like nothing was wrong, like silence wasn't growing loud. You said maybe in another time. I nodded, but I knew somehow that wanting doesn't always move. That feeling doesn't mean it's fair. We're still so close to something real and chose not to go there. You looked away before I could ask you to stay. There's something aching in what we didn't touch. Not the love we almost had. a choice to step aside before hearts cross the line. I don't blame you for the space, I just wish it didn't stay between our breaths and my sleep every night. There's something left in what we keep inside. I tried a goodbye without a rush. I don't cry, I don't fall apart. I just feel it in the dark. Some love never gets to start because of what we didn't touch. If I ever think of you again, it won't be with regret or blame, just a memory of a feeling. We didn't end, we didn't fall. Nothing shattered, nothing loud. We just stopped in the middle, like we forgot how to move now. Your voice still sounded like mine when you said we needed time. But time could stretch a moment thin until it breaks what's in between. You said, this isn't goodbye, but it felt like learning how. There was a pause in us, a silence we let grow. Not far enough to leave, not close enough to hold. We stood still between the lines, afraid of yes, afraid of no. We didn't lose love suddenly, it paused and never went home. We kept checking in sometimes, like touching something fragile, asking how you've been lately, without asking what happened. I saved your name in my phone, like you know we still existed. But love can live in small replies. I still feel like it's missing. I waited for the past to end. You waited for the feeling. There was a pause in us, it felt too cold to fight. No tears, no breaking words, just distance lying light. You said, let's see what time pass. Time slowly let us go. We didn't choose the ending, we just let it show. Maybe love doesn't always break, maybe it just stops mid-step, like music fading before the note you were waiting to hear next. I don't hate you for the space, I just wish it didn't stay long enough to turn for now into a. There was a pause in us, and I stayed too still, believing something quiet could be healed by will. I didn't leave, you didn't stay, we just drifted slow. I didn't walk away. I just stood too long inside a pause and never said my name. You said you needed air that night, so I let the silence in. I watched the curtain move like breath and pretended that was you again. You didn't ask me to wait, you didn't tell me not to, but something in the way you left told me what I'd do. I didn't beg, I didn't speak, I just stayed awake. The window stayed open, so I thought you might return. I let the cold come inside me instead of letting go of you. Every sound outside the room made my heart move too, because hope can't live too long when the window stays open. The night kept slipping through the gap like time without a shape. I held my breath through passing cars like footsteps on their way. Your jacket still behind the door, your cup still by the sink. I kept the room the way you left, as if love could rethink. I told myself this wasn't lost, just something paused. The window stayed open through the dark and dawn. I watched the sky change colors while you were already gone. I didn't chase, I didn't cry, I just listened for you. Some goodbyes don't need words, they leave the room too. Maybe I mistook your cry for something gentleman, but silence can feel hopeful when you don't know what it meant. I don't blame you for leaving, I blame the space you left behind, because it tore my heart away when it was time to close the line. The window stayed open, and so did I, letting in the night. I'm calling it time. I waited anymore, but I still feel it need that place in my chest where the air remembers you. I closed it this morning, not because I'm stronger, but because love can't heal while it's waiting for footsteps that won't come to. The clock moves slow after midnight, like it's afraid to wake me. I lie still in borrowed light, letting the dark take me. The house breathes soft around my chest, every sound too thin. I count the moments I don't cry, just to feel something again. I hold my my breath between the ticks, like time might notice me. These hours break so softly, they don't fall apart. They just bend and disappear inside my heart. I don't scream, I don't ache, I just quietly stay in these soft hours breaking. Your name doesn't hurt like fire now, it hurts like something fading, like a song I almost know but can't remember playing. I stay awake without a reason, sleep doesn't feel like rest. Some nights don't wanna end, they just wanna press. I don't miss you loudly, I miss you, Lord. These hours break so softly, like grass in air. Nothing shatters, but it's never there. I claim you in, I let you go, again and again, slow in these soft hours breaking. Maybe healing isn't bright, maybe it's the stem, just staying through the night without giving in. I don't need tomorrow yet, I just need this to pass. I just need the dark to loosen, so hold on the past. These hours break so softly, no sound, no sign, just pieces of the night slipping through time. I'm still here, still awake, still learning how to take these soft hours breaking. When morning finds me, I'll pretend I'm okay, but the night will always know what it took away. The room still holds the shape of sand, but nothing answers back. I say your name inside my head, and it fades before it lands. The walls don't echo anymore, they learn to let you go. Even my breath feels careful now, like it speaks too slow. I wait for something to reply, the silence has its own reply. When voices disappear, the quiet feels too real. Not loud enough to hurt at once, but sharp enough to feel. Just the sound of everything that never came. We used to fill the dark with words that maybe never that feel small. Now every sentence stops halfway and falls against the wall. I hold my phone without a reason, like it still remembers you. Some habits stay long after the heart knows what to do. I don't wait for you to call, I just listen to the with all the things we didn't say. Maybe love doesn't end in noises. Maybe a faith like breath. One day you're talking easily, the next there's nothing left. I don't blame you for the quiet, I just miss who I was then, when my name's still lived in your sentences, and voices disappear. I learned to stay alone, not empty, not at peace, just learning how to cope. I still hear you sometimes in places I can't reach. I'm never soft now. It's not because I'm afraid, it's because I learned how loud silence can be. When voices disappear, I don't talk about you anymore, not because it doesn't hurt, but some memories grow fragile when you say them out loud first. Your name's the rest behind my lips, like it's scared of being heard. I keep it safe in silence now, where it can't be disturbed. I learned some love survives, but staying small inside. You're a memory too quiet to cry for, to explain, not loud enough to break me, but heavy all the same. You don't harm me in my dreams, you just sit beside my breath. You're a memory too quiet to forget. I see you in the little things, a street light, a familiar tone, moments that don't hurt enough to feel like I'm alone. You don't come back in photographs or songs that make me fall. You live between the seconds when I'm not thinking at all. I don't reach for what we were, but I still feel where you were. You're a memory forget. Maybe love doesn't disappear, maybe it just learns to hide. And softer forms are missing. I don't need to cry. I don't want you back again. I don't ask for closure too. I just wish remembering you didn't feel this true. Your memory too quiet to chase, to let go. Not a wound that's beaten, just one that won't close. I live my life, I'm older, but some part of me still rests with a memory too quiet in my chest. If I ever speak your name, it won't be loud or wet with tears. It'll sound like a whisper from a memory